guys, I sure coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, guys. Hope we find you all doing well. Today, one of my favorite rares out there in the game, certainly a unique rare. He's got an insane turn meter boost, as well as the big version of decreased defense, all on a 3-turn cooldown. It is none other than Void Affinity Doomscreech. So, a few shoutouts here. We have Majin Boo. Can you do a video on my second favorite Void rare, Doomscreech? Well, who's your first favorite, man? You can't leave us hanging like that. Let us know in the comments if you're watching this video. Also, can you pair him with Seeker? I've always wanted to see both bats on the same team just for the fun of it. We're going to do exactly that in today's video. We are going to have a lot of fun in today's video. HUD says, I want to see Kaden, Taragi, and Doomscreech. We've done Kaden. We haven't done Taragi. And, well, here we are doing Doomscreech right now for you guys. So, the cool thing about this champion, he is very basic, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, like, he's not complex to build, and sometimes these are the perfect champions, right? Even a take at level 50 on a champion like Doomscreech, you can still get some value from him. The first thing you need to know about Doomscreech is, to me at least, it's really all about his A2 ability. Warning Screech. Fills a turn meter of all allies by 30%, places an increased defense on all allies for 2 turns. You can sit here and make an argument that you can get some utility out of the A1 and the A2. He does have a decreased accuracy. It is a, 40% chance at landing if you choose to go ahead and book him up. It awkwardly scales on attack and HP on an HP-based champion in terms of the damage. And then the Shelter ability here, it's also a shield on himself on a freaking 5-turn cooldown. No thank you. He deals no damage. The downside, I guess, to Seeker is building him, in my opinion again, building him with, 100% crit rate and some crit damage. You're not getting much out of this champion. This champion is like a motor in your vehicle. He's a motor. He is the engine that keeps the team going with this A2. Not only is he keeping the team going at all times with a 30% turn meter boost, that is Arbiter level out of a rare champion. That's a massive turn meter boost here. I don't think any rare in the game has a 30% turn meter boost. I mean, if I'm missing somebody, you can go ahead and let me know. But there's not even that many epics in the game with a 30% turn meter boost. So it's very, very good on that AoE. And then the increased defense, the big version. I mean, what? There's Marked, who has the big version of increased defense in terms of rares. There's Doomscreech. Is that it? I mean, very, very, very limited champions that can do what he can do. And he has both of these abilities in one skill, which is just absolutely tremendous. It makes him viable even today here in 2023, recording this guide from an old school champion in the game. He also brings HP to faction crypt. Certainly can use him as a faction crypt lead. He looks cool. I mean, he is the brother bat, right? Doomscreech. And let's go ahead and take a look at Seeker. The reason these guys are brothers is obviously, well, they're both bats, right? Seeker looks a little bit more BA. He's got kind of the armor going on here. But Seeker has a very similar A2 ability. Fills a turn meter of all allies by 30%. He's bringing the big version of increased attack. And then he's got an extra turn ability. It makes Seeker one of the more powerful rare champions, or excuse me, epic champions inside the entire game. Especially a quintessential piece of the Bat Eater. He is the bat in the Bat Eater and so many other clan boss compositions, excuse me. But today we're here to talk about Doomscreech. So he has that motor that doesn't show up on the stat sheets, does it, guys? You know, a champion like Doomscreech, nothing that he really does is going to come out at the end of the match on that little, that screen, the whatever the heck the screen is. What do they call it? The recap screen? Either way, you're not going to see a lot of Doomscreech love, right? Not a lot of damage, no heals. I mean, he's not really doing much in terms of that sort of thing. Everything that he does is the intangibles, right? He just brings the team together. He keeps them alive with the increased defense, and he helps them do whatever it is they do even more often with that big turn meter boost. So I have him in a very basic build, as you can see here, the triple speed set. I think this is the best way to build this champion. We don't need any accuracy on this champion except for that A1. Again, if you're really looking for that decreased accuracy on that A1, albeit not a super high chance at landing, go ahead and invest. I'm not telling you not to, but I find it easy just to build this dude all out speed and some HP and call it a day. You don't need to, some champions you really want to put your best gear on, right? And then other champions, they're just fine without your best gear. I will say there's one mistake that I made when building this champion, and it's HP on the ring. I really want to go ahead and use at least one of my accessories here with defense, okay? We talk about this all the time here, especially on this channel, when we talk about, you know, building champions 24/7, right? Man, I'm still getting used to the new screen here in terms of the, I'm like, where is my primary stats button, guys? That's not going to age very well. Like, in a year from now, people are going to be like, what is he talking about, primary stat? What is he talking about? So I'm just going to throw on, again, I'm not going to waste my best accessories here or artifacts. I'm just going to throw on a defense. Why am I going defense on the accessories rather than on the chest or something like that? Again, it's something that we spoke about here, but it bears repeating. On champions that have a low base 749 on his base defense, I mean, we want to go ahead and get flat stats on the accessories, right? Because it's not going to scale. We're basically throwing away our chess piece if we put a defense percentage instead of an HP percentage. This dude has over 20k HP from a rare champion. We want to take advantage. HP percentage on the chest, HP percentage on the gauntlets, and then on the accessories, then we go defense, and we're able to go ahead and take advantage of the flat stat defense stats and at least build him so he can take a hit. Now I have crit damage. That's stupid, Ash. Again, what I ended up doing, what I feel like a lot of players do this, you know, is I actually went through all the artifacts up top, but I didn't go through the bottom before the video, accessories that is. But I think it's good that we kept it on because it's good to make a point, right? I built him for damage. Not because I thought he would do a ton of damage, but I thought to myself, you know what? He's got plenty of HP. He's not going anywhere. We're going to be fine. I might as well build him with a little bit of crit rate on the gauntlets and some crit damage on the amulet, and that's fine. He's not going to do much damage at all. It's a very weak hit on that AoE, very weak, and it's on a super long cooldown. I'm not even going to book out the amulet, but I think defense is going to be better, right? Now, I want to give you two alternative builds to at least consider on this champion, depending on how much you use him. I personally think that throwing this dude in Relentless would be a waste of Relentless gear. Because you really need it on this champion. However, there's a couple options for you. You could put him in Reflex, even crappy Reflex gear that you're not using on like your legendary champions or whatever. You could throw Reflex on him, and you could shut off that A3 ability, right? So the cooldown's going to go right to the A2, and essentially what that's going to be able to allow you guys to do with Doomscreech is get that increased defense up almost all the time on your allies, little RNG base, but almost all the time, and keep churning out these 30% turn meter increases, okay? So Reflex, shutting off the A3, I think is a great idea for this champion as well. And then the third idea for Doomscreech is going to be a shield set or a bolster set, right? Since his HP scales so well, and he serves somewhat limited utility on the team, if you're struggling in a particular dungeon or a Doom Tower, you know, floors or whatever, why not put a shield set on Doomscreech, right? You're not going to be taking away much, some speed on this particular build, but on a shield set, especially if you're struggling to, you know, plateauing in any certain, you know, Doom Tower floor or something like that, at least it's going to be able to keep your team alive for a little bit until you can settle in and get your skills off cooldown, provided you're not A1 cycling into the next wave, right? So that's another third option for you guys to consider. Me personally, I'm keeping it super basic today, guys. Triple speed, because speed is king on Doomscreech. We want him going fast for the same reason we just spoke about with Reflex gear. We want him to use that A2 to get that increased defense up as much as possible, and that's going to be predicated on his speed. And then obviously the turn meter boost, right? In terms of masteries on this champion, we do, ideally, especially against bosses, we want a little bit of damage. It'd be nice to have. For that reason, we did go down and picked up a War Master as our tier 6 option here. I don't know why I went with Life Drinker once upon a time. I was, again, trying to get, wishful thinking, trying to get a little damage out of this champion. But I would just go with probably, I'd probably just go single out, maybe Life Drinker. And instead, I'd probably go with, not many choices here, huh? Yeah, I guess that's fine. Either way, there's only one really important mastery on this champion, in my opinion. And frankly, just like we talked about, you don't have to take him to level 60 to get full utility out of this dude. You really don't even need masteries on this champion, right? Unless you're just, you know, got nothing better to do. You're just sitting on a million gems, whatever, you know, sitting on a million energy and want to just churn out some miniatures. The Labyrinth. The only reason that I think it makes a lot of sense to go ahead and get Masteries on this champion is simply for one mastery, and that is Lasting Gifts. Lasting Gifts, I guess in War Master too, right? Lasting Gifts is great because it gives us a chance to extend that duration of the increased defense, again, to 3 turns, which is on a 3-turn cooldown. So I think that's great as well. I do have Shield Bearer, in his kit. Keep in mind, he does bring a shield, albeit not a massive one, but he does bring a self-shield on that A3, so that's why I have that mastery. Just pointing that out there. So there it is, guys. Pretty basic builds, right? As I mentioned, I think I have HP on. I don't even have all my artifacts upgraded. I have HP on the banner looking for speed. I have just triple speed gear. Not my best gear. Again, I don't have everything totally maxed out. I have a little bit of speed, HP. This is stuff I just had lying around, guys. But the beautiful thing is, it's going to be effective, man. It's going to be effective. We have a double speed roll. Nice gauntlets here on this champion, right? We get HP and HP percentage as well on the Ascension. So, of course, more HP, you know, the better, sure, on a champion like this. But this is going to be just fine. Unfortunately, there is no champion lore on Doomscreech. I want to find out what the story is behind the Batmen, behind the Bat Brothers, so to speak, you know? I would love to find that, but I forgot his name. I apologize. I wouldn't be able to pronounce it anyway, but as promised, I do want to go ahead and show you guys Stage 21 of Faction Wars, and I want to put the brothers together. So Dark Helheim, we love you. We did a guide on her already on the channel, but it's going to be Seeker and Doomscreech together, finally united for Faction Wars, right? I figure a lot of you guys probably have UDK. Correct me if I'm wrong. By the way, thank you so much for the feedback on the UDK Toxic solo build video. I think the majority of you guys, I think it's safe to say, said, yeah, on a champion like UDK, that it has so many different super unique builds, you guys preferred having multiple different videos on one champion. So we're going to make that happen at some point here with UDK, doing like an arena build, something like that. So we have Vlad. All these champions are interchangeable, honestly, right? We need some DPS on the team. If you had some of the OP champions like a Nethril, a Mashald, a Rhodos, I mean, it doesn't even matter, a Bloodgorged, all these champions would be fine, you know, in the Husk role, in the DPS role. Husk is fine in the Husk role, right? But really, Vlad is a debuffer, right? So that's really cool to have on the team. But again, it's not even super necessary to have Vlad on the team, but I just don't want to keep you guys here for 45 minutes watching. So nice to have a decreased defense champion on the team. And I think Vlad is incredibly, incredibly underrated in the game. After his buff, that was a big, big, big boy buff to Vlad the Nightborn. Anyway, here we go, guys. This is really cool. You can see, I have Phantom Touch, by the way, on the Blessing. I like either Dark Resolve or Phantom Touch as a Blessing on Doomscreech, right? Again, a little bit more damage. Dude, I'm going to be real with you guys. If it wasn't for that warning screech, it would have taken me a second to try to tell them apart, man. They look very similar. I guess you can tell just by the coloration in Seeker's wings there, right? There's got to be a little bit, yeah, you can see his hair. Well, it doesn't look like armor when you look at it from this angle, from behind, you know? Anyway, it's really cool to see both of these champions just churning this turn meter. As I said, really, the best word is motor, man. They're the Energizer bunnies to this team, right? They're just like continuously not only keeping the increased defense up, obviously, not only keeping the increased attack up, but the two brothers together are just absolutely allowing the other 3 champions on the team to get that steady turn meter increase, which is really cool. Now, I'm not going to sit here and show you every dungeon you can use these champions together, or even alone on Doomscreech. The nice thing about Doomscreech versus Seeker is, of course, Doomscreech is void affinity, so there is no bad affinity matchup. If you're looking for a nice, easy to build, easy to keep alive, increased defense champion with some turn meter to boot, he can fit in a lot of different teams, even later stage dungeons. So I'm not going to show you, like I said, I'm not going to show you every dungeon. I mean, Ice Golem, Dragon, you guys know the dungeons, right? Especially Ice Golem and Dragon and Faction Wars. To me, those are like great areas to bring a Doomscreech. And man, they're making quick work of this red boss too, right? Jeez, making it look like it's on easy mode, this red boss. Golly, Vlad and Husk are just like, yeah, we got this, man. You said you needed DPS? No worries. We got it on lockdown. Geez, everybody's doing some damage there. A lot of Phantom Touch procs, as you guys saw, but still, even with that, even with War Master and Phantom Touch, he put out 80k damage. So again, he's not a damage dealer, but who cares? There's a million damage dealers in the game, right? He's about bringing the support. Like I told you, is on the box score, on the stat sheet, not going to be super impressed. It's really what he's doing in the battle that you're going to be impressed on. But look at this, 2 6-star glyphs. I will take it, guys. Look at Vlad, man. Next to Husk, too. You know, obviously a Void Legendary versus a Force Epic, so, like, I grant you that. But golly, man, Vlad puts out some damage and debuffs. Either way, guys, really like Doomscreech. I think he's a serviceable champion. I want to reiterate before I let you guys go that the beauty of him is you can run him at level 50. You can run him without masteries. I do think that books are pretty important on this champion, so that's the only downside. But either way, he's an old school Void Epic champion who's still got it. He still can help out a lot of accounts out there. Is he S tier? No. But just the increased defense is nice. Increased defense plus that massive turn meter is really nice, especially from a rare champion, guys. Thank you so much for watching this guide. Hopefully you found it helpful. And as always, take care, guys.